Good afternoon. It's going to be a short video. I'm not going to do much talking because I got to get the point out, the point across. If I don't forget. Okay. I was going to go get my ABS sensors done. I went to the mechanic, but they were busy. They had two cars already. They had a big truck, and then they had another Jeep in there, so they only had two bays. They're very small mom pop shop, so to speak, but the senior mechanic, or the not the owner but the manager that has been working there for a long time, he's no longer there. So and then I haven't been to them for like a year, so their price per hour went up from $95 to $110 an hour. And I need my ABS sensors done. And why should I have to pay an extra hour of labor when I'm going to go get my struts done at the other location, even though their labor per hour is like in the 169 mark per hour? I'd rather pay 169 for an hour's work, because they're already going to have my tires off to do the struts. So I could, depending on how much they're going to charge me for the struts, because I got approved for $705 and some change. Depending on if it's going to be a little bit more than that, which it might not be. If I can get if I can remove all the pieces from the paneling and the third row seating, that will take away an hour's worth of labor. So I may be able to get them to do my ABS sensors while they're already up there in that area, because the rear sensors are easier than the front. The front left one, I have to take the oh shit. I don't know, I have to remove something from the top of the car to remove the rest of the part of the sensor, I believe, from when I watched the video. My right one is working as far as I last checked, but I don't have the money for all that right now. I barely have enough money for gas for the month and food. And I went into Aldi's because I'm in the vicinity. I bought another pineapple, my mind is going. Pineapple, a handful of cherries, a banana, and I wanted to buy 2 bananas, but the other banana I bought was all mushy. So I left it at the register. I bought a cantaloupe, a pineapple, a pineapple, a banana, and a handful of cherries. That cost me almost $6. That's only for my sugar level. And the cantaloupe and the banana ain't going to take care of my sugar level. The pineapple is greener than fuck. It's greener than a Florida grass. So that's not even ripe. That's going to take about 4 days to ripen so I could eat it. So I might have to go in and buy a watermelon, because it's a few cents cheaper than Walmart. But the ones that they got in here are ripe, and they're going to have to be eaten today. I can't eat a whole watermelon today. I could, because I'm dehydrated. But what I went live to say was this before I forget, and I'm already forgetting what I went live to say. Oh, okay. You have to read my posts that I posted just recently in the last 15-20 minutes, okay, to understand where I'm coming from. Now, actually not even that, but you'd have to be paying attention to me in my rants about how money is the root of all evil. Money is going to lead to another World War III. It's already started, and it's going to involve America this time. We're not going to escape it a third time. Sorry, okay? Because we have not yet learned the lessons from the others that went to war. They haven't even learned their lessons from going to war before. They think war is the answer. No, it's going to create more problems, more injuries, more sickness, more pain and suffering and loss among the families and the country. You're destroying the planet. You're destroying. You know, before I end up ending the video because I'm pissed off, and before I don't get the rest of the message out, let me say this. If we don't change our ways, sooner than soon, we're all doomed. We're all fucked. Okay? Y'all think money is the answer. No. I'm going to tell you a little story, okay? And it's a true story that happened between me and my son. And it's not bad. It's good. But there's a lesson to it, an important message. Okay? When I had custody, primary custody, in 2004, for a very short time, but I had custody because I got a domestic violence restraining order against my son's duddy. And he was abusive towards me and my son. And I didn't fight hard enough for my son because I was in a position where I was homeless. I was struggling, living in my car, working 3 jobs. And actually, at the time of when the custody case kind of reversed, actually, I did fight for my son in the beginning when I still had a foundation somewhat. But I didn't go to work at the right job to keep my son because even the right job, the hours were non-conducive for me keeping my son. But yet, Joe, actually, my bad, no, Joe, he did work a job where he was able to get pretty good hours, where he got home at maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock. Or if he did have to continue working his night shift till from 12 to 9, 9:30, he had his girlfriend Jennifer be a mom to my son. Actually, God did. God used her to be a babysitter for him while I was without custody of my son, but yet the devil, my duddy, and his clan put another woman in my son's father's life to be a stay-at-home mom to watch my son. Because my duddy punished me because I snitched on him. Because he was not a father. He was not a dad. Oh, I fucking hate. Let me get this message out. I can't talk anymore because I'm going to end up fucking going on a rampage. Anyway, when I had custody of my son, but I didn't have, the legal aid attorney was dirty too. And because the mob and mafia was involved, I was going to fire him anyway because he was not a good attorney. I was going to request another one. Anyway, he removed himself from my case. But before he did, he showed me how to respond to the motions that I was going to get, that he knew I was going to go to have to go through. Which I already knew how to. I mean, I've done my own homework. I've done my own reports. I've read my homework. I did my, whatever. So I kind of knew how to answer back from because my son's duddy had the money and the credit cards that my duddy and his clan built him up and established him for this reason and gave him a bunch of credit so he can take me to court and take my son from me. Fuck you, Duddy. I hope you fucking die and rot in hell in the worst fucking way. And the same for you, Mommy. Fuck you. Okay, furthermore, in addition, thus, hence, whatever word you want to say, to continue onward. When I had custody of my son for a short while before it got reversed, because when I got a job, it was working for the Florida Turnpike. And my hours were, I had to be to work by 4:45 in the morning, or it was either 3:15, 3:45, or 4:15, somewhere around there, between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. And my shift ended at 1 p.m., between 1 and 2. However, my son he was just about to enter kindergarten, I couldn't keep waking him up at 2 o'clock in the morning so I could get him up and get ready for work. Okay? When we just went to sleep at maybe 9, 10 o'clock at night. I couldn't subject my son to that much longer. He was good. But the daycare that I had to put him in was a person, a black person, and she abused my son because of my duddy, because I snitched on my duddy. So me snitching on my duddy because he was an asshole and was never a father and a dad, he was nothing but a bully and a troublemaker and a puppet master from above and behind the scenes, or behind the scenes above, whatever. No, he wasn't above. He was above and behind the scenes. So he was able to see me through cameras, and then he was puppeteering the things like a chess game, or like a pawn, moving them around here and there and everywhere in my life to be an asshole. And it made a lot of movies, a lot of books, a lot of songs, a lot of this, from all the scenarios that he put me through. So all these songs out there today that y'all think are that you're using to go about your lives, you don't even know what you're following. The songs that you're following are a fantasy. They're not even reality. Okay? Because they were made off of my life of misery, my nightmares that I had to live, that my real, true living nightmares that I had to endure, that I had to live through. Okay? So they've written songs and are singing songs that are out of a fantasy, out of a fantasy or a fairy tale. And what is that? That's what is it? Fiction is false, right? And nonfiction is true. I always used to get those confused. I think nonfiction is not false and fiction is false. I believe, if I got it correctly. But anyway, you know which one is which. The truth from the reality, or true from false. But anyway, I got to get to this story. And I'm getting a pimple or bacteria bump on the tip of my nostril. It hurts. It's sore. I'm dehydrated. I'm thirsty, which mean the same thing, but dehydrated and thirsty are two different things. Thirsty is you're just thirsty. Dehydrated is when your body is dehydrated and it's cramping because your body is screaming for water, or for lemon water, or oranges, which I'm about to tell you. I can't even go in and buy oranges at less than $3 for a package of oranges. You know why? They're dried out. They're rotten. They don't taste like oranges. They're not juicy. They don't give you the nutrition that you need. So all the food that is out here, it's not fulfilling its purpose because it's dried out. It's what's diseased, infected. Because all of y'all want to smoke, drink, drug, sex, party, fuck, suck, dick, and lick, and you think that's your food. Now, this is where I'm going to get into my message and listen to the story that happened between me and my son, which is a good one. Okay? So, when I was with his dad, and as my son got older, and his finances and his family lavished him with Christmas presents and what have you. So, he wasn't really into, he was into the toys, but not really. I wish they would have bought so many presents, because the toys are not what raises the child. Okay? It's the food. The children need food. They need education through their mom and dad. They don't need toys. Okay? I knew how to raise my son. I knew how to be a mom. I knew what was needed and required because I knew what I didn't receive from my mommy and daddy, but I received from the Holy Spirit. However, with the meddling and interfering and obstruction from the mob and mafia and my daddy and the outside interferences that were put into my path, okay, that I couldn't get out of, I couldn't escape, okay? So I had to deal with the bullshit that was happening in and all around me, and I didn't want to because I wanted to be alone so I could accomplish what I needed to for my life because nobody else was going to do it for me, okay? As a matter of fact, I was working and taking care of myself, okay, while my daddy kept putting people into my path, drug dealers or other kids that didn't have a mom and dad and that were looking to fill up the void in their time and to learn from other people what to do. And I was kind of that example to one person, but then he got killed on a moped. So anyway, and I feel so bad. I feel so bad for you. Well, he's no longer living, but I know he's in spirit. But anyway, what was I going to say? Like, I couldn't live my own life because my daddy kept putting people into my path in a bad way. And it hindered me from being able to be able to achieve and accomplish what I was trying to accomplish. Okay? And then the message to that, the next thing to that was by the devil putting others into my path, it made me have to spend more money on other people because they didn't have money to eat. So to keep myself safe, I had to buy them food, or they had to use my home while I was at work. Because of the money system, because all these other families couldn't work. They were either sick with cancer or an alcoholic, or they misused their money, their funds, they didn't take care of their children. So what happened? They became problems of other people. And it took away from my life, my equation, and my money. And then I took it upon to take care of my sister. And the devil interfered with her and took her away and messed up my life. So all the money that I put in to move into a one-bedroom apartment with my money that I worked for, okay, I had not yet received the money from my sister through the state, okay? By the time I did, I was already in my other apartment, in the one-bedroom apartment, and I didn't, because of the shit that she put me through and that she was doing instead of going to school, she was out running around with the kids in the neighborhood, smoking, drinking, drugging, catching diseases and infections. But yet, I needed to leave work to go to the hospital to take care of her. I was taking care of her. I got custody of her. I got an apartment for her and I could have stayed in my efficiency apartment. That would have been just fine for me. Okay, but on the other hand, and also it was cheaper because it included water. All I had to do was pay for electric, and I really didn't even have to pay for that because I was never home. I was always working. But I had a cat. In fact, I had only one cat. Then I had kittens. But anyway, oh, look at that. It's a new car, and it's called a Defender. But I don't like the windows. The windows are small. I don't like that. And a dove just flew above and past me at 12:32, and I'm itchy down there. Oh, I'm on my lip, on the outside of my lip. But anyway, So the story I'm going to tell you to finish this message up about how money is the root of all evil and how money is not what gives one life because there's not enough of it that's allowed to us people. We don't get enough per hour. And even if we did get $50 an hour, it still wouldn't be enough. You know why? Because they would raise the prices because they want all that money. Everybody wants the money. Everybody wants the money. They don't care about the person. They don't care about themselves because if they knew the truth, they would know that money is not the answer. Okay? I'm going to cut the message short. I'm going to ask you this. Can we eat money? Can we eat money? If we needed to survive, could we eat? I'm itchy because they got me again. I'm not as itchy as I was yesterday. But when I took a shower, I didn't use light shampoo again because you're only supposed to use it every 7 to 10 days. Otherwise, it's going to make your hair brittle, dry, and fall out. And that's what it's doing. It's killing my hair again. Okay? Because I'm not using the oil. I used the rosemary oil. But that shit just is so sticky and it's pulling my hair out. So I'm not going to buy the rosemary oil. Or if I do, I'm going to put it inside the conditioner bottle and use it that way. So it'll get mixed in with the conditioner. But I need to buy either some castor oil, some coconut oil, or some tea tree oil. Or black seed oil to help my hair to stay oiled and so it doesn't dry out and get all dry and brittle and break. I have so much breakage. It's going to take years for me to get my hair back to good health. Okay? I want my daddy and mommy dead. I want them dead. I want them to suffer so fucking goddamn much it's not funny. Just like what they've done to me since conception. By not feeding me properly in the womb, by not feeding me properly after birth, and they neglected me, abused me, rejected me. Fuck you, motherfuckers. I hope the world does to you what you've done to me and what the world has done to me. Fuck you. Okay, so, answer my question. Can we eat money? The answer is no. I mean, we could eat it, but it would kill us. In many different ways, either by infection, disease from the germs and bacteria on the money, or our digestion because we wouldn't be able to break it down. And it doesn't have any nutritional value. Okay, so, the answer is no, right? Right. Because we want to live, right? And my thumb is hurting right now. Oh my God, I'm so itchy. I feel like I got buggies just nibbling away at I feel them crawling. Just like I do on my face. And I have to put the cream on. But my face, my skin, I gotta put the cream on. I'm itching like a bitch. And these are still not better. Because the buggies are not dying. They're still inside. Okay? And it takes time for them to come out. To die and come out. I've used see, this one is still scabbed up. So it's still got buggies. This one is still also. But it's getting smaller. Because this whole thing, you could see the outline of it. That was all raw. You could see the outline from the light scarring. That was the point of entry of the buggy. There was like 2 spots. Maybe 3, I think. There was 1, but then there was 2. So, because when I treated it, it traveled. And got there. Then when I used the light shampoo on my face, it killed them in 10 minutes. Now, the scabies cream, it takes 8 to 10 to 12 or 13 hours to kill the mites. When the lice shampoo kills them 10 minutes. It'll stop them in their tracks, kill them, but then if I don't leave it on exactly 10 minutes, it doesn't kill them all the way. So, because I'll be in the shower and it'll be like glue. And it won't be, the skin will still be hanging on because it's got the buggy attached. So, until the buggy dies, the skin will remain intact where the buggy is. So until the buggy dies, the skin won't fall off and the buggy won't come off the skin. So it takes time for it to work. But anyway, the moral of my story, the message, the main point I'm trying to make, and I've said this numerous times throughout the years, but nobody gets it. And the videos have been kept from me being able to share. They won't let me share my videos from my past. And now they're making me lose all the videos from my past, because when I got the flash drive and when I went to download them, I didn't know how to download them because the computer at the library has like a block on it. Like, you can only do certain things. It's not like a personal computer where you can do what you want on it. Okay? They don't allow you to do certain stuff on the library computers. So it was giving me a hard time. It downloaded a couple of the videos, but it wouldn't let me download the rest of them. Now, I know God's got my back. When I get to the other side, in the land of the living, I know God is going to download them for me and give them to me all on a disc or on a flash drive or whatever. Or provide me or help me do that. Because he has access to that. But I don't. Because I don't have that pull on other people. So I have to wait until I'm in the right person's. That journey looks so much better than mine. That's no fair. I'm jealous and I'm mad because they fucked up my car. Fuck you, motherfuckers. God, you better restore this car to you. That's all the fuck I'm saying. My control panel is broken. My window gets stuck. It won't go up sometimes. The thing is broken. I can't even. I don't have the money for all this. I lose my car. I end up being homeless again. I ain't even gonna lose my car, because you know what? I'm gonna light the motherfucking shit on fire. I swear to fucking God. If I lose my car that my son helped me get, I will fucking set it ablaze. Fuck y'all. Okay? Now, onward to my message. Money is not the answer. Policemen are not the answer. The firemen are not the answer. The paramedics are not the answer. It's called having a brain and knowing how to use it. And having discernment to know to know the difference between right and wrong, good and bad, life and death. Okay? That's called the Holy Spirit discernment, the Holy Spirit awakening. Many of you do not have that. Even in the church, and even those that say you have the Holy Spirit, there's different levels. There's the milk stage, the veggie stage, the meat stage. And many of you are still on the milk and veggies. You do not have the meat stage yet. Okay? You may know how to interpret. I can't spit. Now I'm sitting on my banana and I'm going to squish it. Oh, my nose fucking hurts. Where's my knife? I've got to go get my other prescription of my cortisone, medicated cortisone that they said they had to order. They didn't have it in stock. But meanwhile, I'm going to eat my banana. If I fucking smell marijuana, I swear to God, I'm going to fucking light this parking lot ablaze. I swear to fucking God. I do not want to smell marijuana. I do not want to smell cigars. I do not want to smell fucking cigarettes. Or vaping vapes. I want to eat the food that's nutritious to keep me alive and prevent me from getting sick. You fucking goddamn morons. It's mushy. It's right. It's still green and yellow, but it's like mushy. I like them when they're firm, just before they get ripe, because they're sweeter. Because I have low sugar. My system has to be reset. But I can't because I don't live in a home of my own. I can't afford to buy the foods I need to reset my system. So, the end of my story is I had custody of my son. I started working for the Florida Turnpike. The hours were like early in the morning, and I could not I couldn't put my son through that. He was very cooperative. I never went through terrible twos with my son. I never went through anything bad with my son except when I went to Connecticut after I snitched and I don't want after it was almost 5 years after I snitched, when my daddy caused my life to become more of a nightmare. Okay, and he made everybody make my son. Well, actually, my money system was getting low. I had to quit my job. I had to give up my apartment. But that was because I took Joe back. So within a couple months of getting the restraining order, and I got a job and got my own apartment, and it was a nice apartment at Reflections of Palm Beach, Reflections at Willow Pond of West Palm Beach. Anyway, it's now called Visions at Willow Pond of West Palm Beach. Anyway, I had to take Joe back. Now, what he did is God used him to become more of a dickhead to me. My hair is such a fucking mess. So, he was a dickhead to me and my son by trying to use my son against me, and because I didn't have money to go out and go to the Fun Depot or Chuck E. Cheese, and he used my son to show him a good time to make him not want to be with me. Or I shouldn't say not want to be with me, but I couldn't afford, and my life was stressful compared to being with his dad. It wasn't stressful. So anyway, when I had custody, before I left my apartment, abandoned my apartment and went to Connecticut because I knew they were trying to set me up to take my son from me. Okay, they were giving me a difficult time to be able to live on my own and afford to live on my own and to be able to work, because the jobs that were available, they required you to work until 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock until closing time. I couldn't do that. My son was in school about to enter kindergarten, and there were no jobs that allowed me to leave at 3 or at 5, 6 o'clock while putting my son into maybe aftercare. But I couldn't even afford aftercare. So I couldn't afford to work, even with child support, $400 a month. And then me working part-time or full-time, I still couldn't afford the rent, the car insurance, the gas, the needs of my son, the food, and the daycare, the aftercare. The fuck, this system, you can't even live with this system. You can't even live the American dream. Money is the killer of all dreams. Okay? The only people that are making a lot of money are the singers, the actors, actresses, the government, a couple of other little side jobs, okay, that make a lot of money. But their hours are still long. So they're not involved in their family life. This system is totally fucked up, people. It's totally fucked up. But let me get to the point, okay, here, that's going to knock it out of the ballpark, okay? So when I first started working for the Florida Turnpike and I got my first check, or no, I was working 2 weeks. I got paid bi-weekly, and I had to pay rent to my apartment. I had to pay the security. I had to put down like almost $1,000 to move into this apartment. I had to pay the rent, like it was $400 or $500 prorated. Then I had to pay, like it was only like a $300 security deposit at that time for some reason. I think it was a special back then or something. But I only had to pay. I was able to move in with the amount of money I had. It was under $1,000. But then within the next 2 weeks, I had to pay $800 and something for the rent. So I wasn't going to be able to come up with that. I would only have enough from Joe's child support check that he had to give to me. And that was only $425. What about my gas? What about car insurance? What about maintenance? I didn't even maintain my 1999 Dodge Stratus back then because I knew, but I didn't have the money. So I had to hope and pray that this vehicle, or that vehicle that God provided me through Joe and through me going to dental school for dental assisting, that it was going to last me until God had set me up to where I could get a job and pay for what it needed. Because I knew it needed to be taken care of. Just like my body. I needed food to be taken care of to survive and live. So anyway, I wasn't able to manage that apartment very well, very long on my own. Because they made me have to quit my job because they made my son give me a hard time not wanting to go to daycare. Because for some reason the 2 or 3 daycares I had him in, they abused him, okay, and it made him angry with me, and I knew I had to go to work to take care of my son, to keep custody of my son, but by him not wanting to go to daycare. And he put up, it was like a terrible 2 kind of thing at almost 5 years old. And I'm like, this isn't my son. They made it look like my son was going through something and they put him on drugs. And it made him fly over my couch out the sliding glass window and nick his forehead. I had to take him to get stitches. Because the medicine made him run and jump over the couch into the sliding glass balcony, the sliding glass doors, and onto the balcony. Yeah. So, they gave me a hard time because I snitched on my duddy. So what goes with that territory. So when I went to Connecticut to flee the abuse that Joe was putting me through, the psychological abuse, the physical abuse from him, mentally attacking me, verbally, orally, whatever, physically, and financially, and whatever, and then also through my son, because he was trying to turn my son against me and make me look like I was crazy because I was screaming and yelling, going crazy because of what Joe was doing, because they were using him to get me to lose my son, to hurt me. Because my mom lost her kids because of Richie. So my duddy, as punishment to me for snitching on him, used my mom's situation in my life to hurt me and make me suffer what my mommy went through. But I was also suffering because of her, because she blamed me for her losing her kids when it was Richie. So I was getting punished by my mommy, my sister, my brothers, my duddy, Joe, my son, the system, the jobs. Everybody was attacking me. So anyway, during the time I was working for the Florida Turnpike, and I took my son to Walmart on Belvedere and Jog Road, I think it was. Is it Jog and Belvedere? No, it's Belvedere and State Road 7. It's actually on State Road 7. Oh, I haven't been up that way in a long time. It's either before you get to State Road 7 in Okeechobee. It's on Okeechobee and Belvedere. or if it's on State Road 7 in Belvedere. I can't. It's what in the West Palm, near Royal Palm Beach area. Anyway, just before you get to Salisbury Way and that, but I haven't been up that way in a while because that's where my stalker's condo is. I don't know if he still has that one. I don't know. But anyway, because he's out following me around and stalking me. He's my shadow. What truck is this? This is now Farm Share. Florida's Homegrown Food Bank. I'll take what you got in there, mister. You could drop the food off to me. I'll take it. I'm joking because you're driving a farm truck. I was joking around. You're driving a farm truck, and I'm doing a live video, and I said, oh, a farm truck just drove up. I said, oh, you could drop that here. God bless. God bless you. And then the number, the USDOT number starts off with 119. Oh, I should say 1190666. And the truck is in Isuzu. And it's a Farm Share. Anyway. So when I had my son with me and we were going shopping at Walmart and I had like $40 or so left and I had to put $20 of gas in at least to get me to back and forth to work and to drop him off at daycare and to pick him up and to drop him off and pick him up at at his father's visitation day, which was usually Friday to Sunday. So that $20 had to get me far because back then I didn't know about the check cashing store. I don't even know if they had them back then. I don't even know. But anyway, if I would have known, I could have managed a lot better than what I did until I would have been able to maybe take time off on my day off and go get another job but I was stressed out. And then because they put Lynn in my path, James Lynn, that guy, Gunther look-alike guy, they put him in my path to be a distraction and to be another problem, which he was the Richie character in my life, in my mom's life, but they used him as the Richie in my life. And that only lasted a year, about 2 to 3 years on and off, because I fled to Connecticut. And then I came back and we kind of connected, but we didn't connect. But it wasn't through me. It was the devil that sent him my way to be a problem to me. I'm so thirsty. I'm foaming. I didn't even drink my tea last night when I heated it up. I'm going to cut the cantaloupe up, but I know it's not ripe. I need to cut my carrots. I can't even, my skin is so fucking dry. I need to go clean out my car and start taking out my back seat. But I can't because I got too much stuff. And I don't know how I'm going to disperse it in my vehicle. Oh shit, what did I do with the knife? Oh shit, I don't want to get cut. I don't know what I did with my knife, and I don't have the blade on it. Oh, fuckaroo, man. What the fuck did I do with it? I don't want to get cut. I got to get up, people. I got to look for my knife. I don't know what I did with it, and I don't want to get cut if it's on my seat somewhere and it sticks me. I don't know what oh my God, that's another fucking thing that's going to delay me. Jesus, it's on the fucking ground. It fell, it was on my door, and it fell out when I opened it to spit. And I cut my pineapple last night, and it was good. It was ripe. It finally got ripened. There was a few little brown spots, but it was because it ripened unevenly in my car. But anyway, let me finish telling you about this story. So me and my son were at Walmart. Okay, this cantaloupe is not quite ripe, but anyway, and it's got a big butthole, so it's not gonna be sweet or juicy. But I'm gonna eat it now or cut it up in a bowl so it could ripen quickly so I could eat it. Because if I don't, and it's actually ripe. It's actually ripe. That's good. But it's a very tiny cantaloupe. And it actually smells bad. It actually smells bad. The seeds in the middle smells bad. Like the change of temperature kind of bad. What am I looking for? The spoon. So, I'm sorry I'm getting there, people, but I gotta eat. It's already 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the fucking afternoon, and I haven't done shit. And I've got to get my struts done. I want to go get them done tomorrow, so I'm not going to wait the weekend. So I'm going to go get them done tomorrow, and I got to figure out how to help them get these seats off so that I don't have to worry about, which I got to go to somewhere, God knows I know where I can go to get it done, but I don't want to say it. But anyway, I know where I'm going to go to do it. But anyway, my son and I were at Walmart on Belvedere in either Okeechobee or Belvedere in State Road 7 or State Road 7. One of them places is right on Belvedere, but it's all, whatever. Yeah, see this? It's got, these fucking cantaloupes. It doesn't smell right, and I just fucking bought it. Now what did I do with the fucking knife again? And I can't even wipe, oh, my nose hurts. Because I shaved, and because I still got the bacteria, it spread when I shaved underneath my nose. So now it's not a pimple, it's from the bacteria from these. So it's not a pimple, it's a bacteria, and it hurts. It's like coming up underneath the skin, kind of, and it hurts like right here. Right around here. Because I shave, because I get nose hairs. And if I don't shave them, the buggies, oh my God, drive me crazy. So, this cantaloupe ain't no good. It's not even orange. It's like a pale orange. It's not good. None of this food that we're eating is good. In hell, nothing is good. Because you people are working all the wrong jobs. Because you're believing in the devil's kingdom. You're believing in the devil's kingdom. Push black, please. Please. If you were listening to me and listening to the truth and within yourselves, you would know that you need to stop wasting your time on the goddamn fucking discrimination and racism bullshit. Okay? Because even though it may seem to have been like that's what it was, but it wasn't. Okay? That was just an excuse. Okay? To get to the real problem. Okay? And we're still, even the white people now, we're suffering just like the so-called slaves. Okay? I did. I worked my ass off. I didn't get to eat. I had to work 3 jobs and give all my money to the landlord. Didn't even get to stay home. I didn't even get to live in my own apartment. I got to shower daily, but I didn't even get to eat to sleep. My cats did, but I wasn't there to be with them. And I got to sleep. I got to shower, dress, and feed my cats, and I was out the door and go back to work again. These are bad. And I'm so fucking itchy. Oh my God. I know it's not the soap that I'm using, because I don't use the soap on my head. The same soap I use on my body, I don't use on my head. And I'm itchy on my head just like I am on the rest of my body. So they got me, and I didn't know they did. These aren't good. They're like ripe. But see, this is still green. But the inside is ripe. because the time that they're picked from the ground, put into the bins and put in the truck, and the truck gets them to the location, they're ripe. And all the temperature differences I really wanted oranges. I've been wanting oranges, but I can't afford them. And when I buy them, they're not even juicy and nutritious. They're dried out. They're disgusting. And the number 2. And the 1190666. And it's an Isuzu. Ugh. That's not even right. That's hard. I can't deal with this. I'm so itchy. Oh, God. See, that takes away the itch right away. Oh, my God. Yep. Took away the itch right away. I know I gotta go to Dollar Tree. I gotta look for a... So, I'm wondering if I should I can't attempt to do my... I'm just gonna see how much they're gonna charge me for my struts tomorrow and my ABS sensors, my rear ones. And then if they do at least the rear ones, I'll do the left one next month. Because right now I don't have the money. Otherwise, at the other mechanic, they were going to charge me $337 just for the ABS sensors and the labor. When the ABS sensors are only like fucking $50. I had to do this to get it out of my face while I'm eating. I'm applying the medicine. And I'm going to take this off because it's burning and it's sweating. It's going away. It's a little bit better. But it was really hurt. It was sore and it was still red. Like that one, but it was darker. It was a lot bigger last night. But I got some more of the buggies out of it with the lice shampoo last night that I had on my face. I left it on my face almost 10 minutes to stop the itching that I was going through. I don't know why my hair looks so good up in a ponytail right now. You don't see all the breakage right now. But when I was curling my hair, I need a fucking perm. I can't do this no more. I can't stand this rat's nest. I need it to be a perm, not this. It's having a perm will keep it healthier, more manageable. It stings a little bit. That's why I didn't want to do that yet, because I knew it was going to hurt. So much for that Usher song, Let It Burn, Let It Burn. Yeah. My ears, because they itch. Ow. See, I got... a buggy started to bite me on my hand last night while I was sleeping this morning. And a couple over here. And they just healed. Now they got me again. I got some, like, red spots. And I could feel them. See? See that little speck? See? It's like a speck of sugar. And that came off from the medicine that killed the buggy. I felt like them little buggies crawling on my skin. Oh, I'm not itchy anymore. Wow. Thank you, Jesus. Whew. The cantaloupe is ripe, but not ripe. Not all the way, but the part that is ripe is going bad. And I don't need to cut myself with this fucking goddamn knife. God damn it. And with it being partially ripe and partially not. They're trying to get me cut. They're trying to make me cut myself. That's what they're trying to do. See how it's so hard? The rind is still very unripe. But the flesh part of it is. So I don't get to use all the flesh that's on here. It doesn't even taste right anywhere. But I don't get to eat it often. I really wanted oranges and watermelon. I did want cantaloupe, but I don't like the way they're tasting. I can't even wash it. My shit is a mess over here. I didn't finish telling you my story. Hold on. So, I had my son in Walmart, right? That almost went on the floor. I had only about $40. I had to use $20 for gas and $20 for food. So I had my son in the carriage. And I think I opened up my mouth. And there was a Yu-Gi-Oh character. A Yu-Gi-Oh doll character figure. And it was on the shelf as we walked in the store. And then I told my son, I said, honey, I don't have the money right now to get this for you. I go, you have plenty of Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and all that at home. And I go, Mommy only has $40. And I have to put $20 in the car for gas. Then I have to put $20 for food. I go, if I get that for you, when your tummy is hungry, can you eat that toy? I let him think about it. Okay, instead of him blowing up and having a temper tantrum, which is that what the devil was trying to do to me at that point. But I knew how to control my son. I knew how to deal with issues like that because of how my mommy and my family didn't. I learned. I'm like, well, why are they reacting that way? And I've acquired things as I grew, and the things I saw and experienced, and I soaked them up, and I dissected them. And I came up with my own plan for my life. But I didn't get to go through with my own plans for my life. Why? Because of Duddy and his clan. And my stalker. Because they thought they knew the truth. But they were wrong. They just know their powers. They know the powers that be. They don't know the truth in the way to life. Because many of them are still smoking, drinking, drugging, sexing, partying, fucking, sucking, dicking, and licking. And causing ruckus with other people's lives because they're not happy smoking, drinking, drugging, sexing, partying, fucking, sucking, dicking, and licking. Go figure. I wish I had cold cantaloupe. Cold, ripe, sweet, juicy. Then, just now, to my right, is a medic EMT, like the one in Meet Joe Black, when he got hit by the car. Right next to me. Number 821. And the time is now 1:14. 1:14. This is so bad. This is disgusting. And see, it's even green. It's not even brown. The butthole. And it's ripe, but it doesn't taste right. I don't have a melon spoon. And it's mostly all rye, and there's not even no fucking cantaloupe, man. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. I just realized how I should have done it. Ow, I should have cut it in little chunks. But I'm doing it this way for some reason. And see, all that is going to go to waste because it's not ripe at the rind. I have to use my 2 mouth teeth, my 2 rat teeth. Well, 1.5. So, with that story being said, I finally got it out there again about how I know how to raise my son and raise a child and raise myself. I had to sacrifice a lot of what I wanted so I could live on my own in a home of my own. When I was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. With times in between where I had to abandon my apartments because of my sister and her friends and the neighborhood. Yeah, because of my Duddy. And their families not taking care of them and their kids running around the neighborhood. Like juvenile delinquents. Smoking, drinking, drugging, sexing, partying, fucking, sucking, dicking, and licking at 14, 15 years old, getting pregnant before they're 18. But yet, I had one child at 24 years old. And they took it away from me. Fuck you, motherfuckers. Goodbye, good riddance. Go fuck yourselves.